Hello! So, if you're just here to see my name, go to the Kickstarter page. I have some other things I want to talk about too though. One of the big ones, I'm sure some of you already caught it, but I spent the last 2 days, 2.5 days? 2.5 days in the hospital because of my appendix. I'll get into that in a second. But this video is basically about 3 things, right? First one is if you want to see my name, go to Kickstarter, right? Kickstarter link down below. Disaster's Kickstarter is now officially live. It's going to be live until the end of the month. I put a lot of hard work into it. I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of the game as well. I think it's a lot of fun and I hope you guys will enjoy it. But please go there, give it a look, would really appreciate it. Then I want to tell you what Disaster's is, kind of show you all of that. And then first I want to start talking about like my health though, because I'm sure some of you are curious about that. So on Thursday, I noticed stomach pains in my lower stomach, my lower abdomen, and I noticed them in the morning, and I was like, well, this is a little bit weird. Honestly, my very first thought was like, great, there goes my appendix. That was actually my very first thought. So I googled it a bit, and it turns out that yeah, that's where it starts. If it gets worse while walking, then you should probably go to the doctor. We went to the zoo. It got worse while walking. I went to the doctor did some ultrasounds. She couldn't really tell anything in particular, but she also came to the conclusion that in all likelihood it's the appendix. It can't really be much else. So she sent me straight to the hospital. In the hospital, they did another ultrasound, couldn't really see anything on the ultrasound, but then the chief surgeon walked into my room, took a look at my stomach, poked me once, like she was just straight to the thing, and it was straight on top of instantly found it, like 3 other doctors had already tried to poke my stomach to like provoke it, but they weren't able to find the right spot. She pokes it once, instantly I'm just like, oh my god, that hurts really bad. And she's like, yep, straight into surgery. So I immediately went into surgery on Thursday evening. I stayed in the hospital for all of Friday, and then today I got out, but then I was having some issues with my legs because they were cramping the whole day. We were worried it might be some sort of blood clot or something like that. So we went back to the hospital, but turns out it's nothing. It's fine. Apparently this is something that happens. It's rare, but it's essentially everybody has different reactions to invasive surgery like that. And in my case, I guess my legs were cramping a lot. But I'm fine now. I'm good. Everything is fine. Nothing to worry about. Now I'm just at home, and I'm not really supposed to be walking around too much, or not walking around, but not to do any sort of exercise or anything that's super strenuous for at least 2 weeks. But other than that, I'm quite fine. I don't even need any painkillers or anything like that. I'm not on any medication. I'm feeling quite well. So there's that. So I'm back. All right. We'll go back to streaming and all of that. Yeah. Now let's talk about Disaster's. So Disaster's is the card game that I made. I told you a lot about it. And we are now at a stage where I'm happy to show it to you. Now, here are my prototypes. This is my pile of prototypes. Now this is not all of the prototypes. This is actually only 4 of them. I had a total of like 10. Well, 6 major ones and then some revisions on those. So probably more than 10. But anyway, not the point. But towards the end, instead of printing them, and then cutting them out, which takes forever, I started doing them on tabletop sim. Now, Disaster's is a non-traditional card game, and it is quite fun, I think. So come on, let me show them I'm going to show you how to play it on a very basic level. Again, if you want more information, please go on the Kickstarter. So the first thing is every player has a throne room card, like this one. You can see the throne room has these 4 black dots around it. Those are connection points. So yeah, in Disaster's, your goal is to build a castle, right? And you build a castle by connecting these points. And you can connect them very simply by attaching things to the connection points. So you could, for example, also place this here. You always have to make sure that you do actually match connection points. So this right here isn't, like, you're not allowed to do this. But It is also important to keep in mind that you're not necessarily required to match symbols. It does give you benefits though, but this right here would still be a legitimate placement. Now, you place things out of a shop. Now, what is the shop? You will shuffle the deck of cards, and then you place 5 of the cards in front of all of the players, and you can play the game of up to 5 players. All right, so you place the cards like this, and then you have your pile of unturned cards here, and then you take turns drawing a card from the shop. So let's say I want to have this card and I place it in my castle, and then you want to take this one and somebody else wants to take this one. And then at the end of the round, everybody has taken a card and the shop gets discarded and we place 5 new cards. I don't have those printed right now, but you get the basic idea. Cards have text, and the game is really all about synergies, right? So you can see this card, for example, connected rooms can't be manipulated, right? Or this room's connections count twice, which is this card right here. Cards always have text, and cards not always have text, but most of the cards have text. And manipulating that kind of text to like find synergies is really, really important to the game. Now, there are also disasters. Now, I had one printed, but it disappeared. But basically, like, I don't know where it went. But basically, the way disaster works is when we'll also shuffle 6 disasters into the deck. And when a disaster is drawn, every player needs to deal with the disaster. And disasters do certain types of damage. And you can block disaster damage by having connections in your castles. So, come in again. So you can see, for example, if our castle looks a little bit like this, right? So the throne room has special connection points because they automatically match whatever you place there. So this right here would be a square one. Then we have an X connection, we have a moon connection here. And then disasters do damage. So there might be a disaster that does like a moon damage, an X damage, a square damage, right? And you can block that and you don't take any damage. But if you do take damage, you need to sacrifice rooms in your castle. So you always want to simultaneously make sure that you're building a nice big castle that has lots of synergistic effects, while also making sure that you're protected from disasters. And then, of course, you want to win the game. And how do you win the game? Well, you win the game by gathering the most treasure. This right here is a vault. Whoever has the most treasure at the end of the game wins the match. So then you also need to make sure that the other players aren't gathering too much treasure. There's a lot going on in the Match of Disasters, but it's still very easy to explain. It is definitely something that you can get really, really good at. Something I found in my playtests, which is something I was really happy about. There were some players that I repeatedly playtested with. Can you move up a little bit so I don't look like a toad? Thank you. But there were players that I repeatedly playtested with, and then I always also got new players into playtest with. And there was a real skill gap there, like a very significant skill gap. And you can really, really tell that. And to me, that's always really fun, right? So because of that skill that's involved with playing this game, I do think there's a lot of replayability. Now, let me show you why we need money. So this right here is a deck of cards. This is not a real like game. This has just got some trucks on it. But basically this, that's a good sound, right? This is the kind of quality we're aiming for with our print. It's really important to me that the game's high quality, and I want to work with Spielkarten.com to manufacture the game. I've been in touch with them for a while now. I've talked to them a lot. Spielkarten.com is the German subsidiary of Cartamundi. And Cartamundi makes a small unknown card game. Well, what was it called again? I think Magic the Gathering. So they don't, of course, design the cards, but they are the European manufacturer. And you can go to the website and you will be loud and proud about it. You know, they make Magic the Gathering. And all of our cards will be produced in Germany to very high standards by, again, the German subsidiary of Cartamundi, the European manufacturer for Magic the Gathering. But these are super high quality cards. You can see right here, you know, like nice and flat, and you can like bounce them and they will go straight back into shape. They're solid, they're robust, they're nice and easy to touch. So if you have like a pile of cards here, you can see like they're pretty nice and easy to spread out, and then you can very easily go and grab one card out of it. Although I gotta admit, my sleight of hand right now isn't as good as it would usually be, considering I just got out of surgery. But please excuse that. So that's one thing. The other thing is that we need money to finish up the rest of the art. I already invested some of my own money, pretty much as I reasonably can. I paid Jeremy for the art that we already have here, but we need a little bit more money because he needs more time to finish all of it. And the art is beautiful. You can see it better on the Kickstarter. It's absolutely gorgeous. And please just take a look, right? But we need to finish up the art of the game. I want the game to be pretty. It is incredibly pretty, but it's just not done yet. There's going to be 120, or if we meet our goal, it's going to be 132 cards in the deck. And we are just nowhere near done with that. So it's going to be, Jeremy needs to eat. That's the thing, we're not asking for money so Jeremy makes a huge profit. We're asking for money so Jeremy can eat.
And pay his rent.
Preferably internet bill as well. Right? So the thing is, we're really trying to keep it very minimal. We're also not asking for a lot of money. It's 7.5 grand about. Anyway. So we have some rewards though. For 20 bucks you get the game. Like 20 euros you buy the game. So I'm not just asking for money, I'm not going to give you anything in return. For 20 euros you just get a copy of the game, we'll ship it to you. For 30 euros you will get a copy of the game, and if you want it, I can sign it for you, right? I will sign your copy of the game if that's something you're interested in. For 50 euros you can get a copy of the game, sign if you want it, and you can get this beautiful poster back there.
That one.
Yeah, isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. And it's huge. It's going to be real big as well. It's not going to be some lame ass small poster. It's going to be a really nice big poster.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So you're gonna get the poster. For 100, we'll put you on a card or something you like. As in, because the art isn't finished, we do have these characters on here, right? So you can see this, for example, some lizard dude, right? And we can make this lizard dude look like you, right? I think that's a fun idea. Now, it doesn't have to be you. If, for example, you're like, you know what, I don't want the lizard dude in the game, but I do want Tinker in the game just to annoy Balmy. That also works. We'll also do fictional characters. Alright? But keep in mind, we cannot just straight up copy them. That would be copyright infringement. But we can do similar looks. Right? But it still needs to fit within our universe. Right? That's important to us. And then for 200, you will get to design a disaster. There will be a total of 12 in the deck. Up to 24 if we reach our stretch goal, and you will we'll get in touch with you and you'll design a disaster, and we'll just be super sick and have a disaster. It's gonna be awesome. And yeah,
you could even name it after your dog or something.
Yeah.
It can be a dogzaster.
It could be a dogzaster. Although again, we are a little bit picky about indoor kind of stuff, right? We still want it to fit into the setting, so we can keep that in mind. But if you want it to be a dog, let's make it a giant space ghost dog. Why not? We can do that kind of stuff, right? So that's another goal there. Then we have some stretch goals, which are, you can see them on the Kickstarter, right? But one of them is we'll make a browser-based digital version of the game available to everybody for free. You can just play it, but we do need some funds to pay for it. So it's a stretch goal. And then currently the game will be delivered in a box like this. I know, it's not ideal, but we do have a stretch goal to make it be in a box like this. If we reach that stretch goal, you'll get a game like that. If you want it, that is. Honestly, I don't mind a box like this, because it's actually still a really high quality box. Again, produced in Germany by the guys that make Magic the Gathering. They do sick ass work, right? But the game will come in a little box, and it's nice and easy to transport. It's one of the big things that I like about the game. It's just something you can easily pack up and take along, right? It's not a big board game. It's just something you can throw in your pocket, and if you have some friends that want to play, you can just play. And if they don't, that's not a big deal because you didn't fucking have to carry around Risk, right? That's the thing.
Or Scrabble.
Scrabble is fun, but it's a big box. While Disasters is fun, but it's a small box. So one of them is a bit more transportable than the other. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Please give my Kickstarter a shot. Link down below. We put a lot of work into it. If you have any questions about the game, you can submit them on the Kickstarter. You can also submit them on the website, thinkingbottle.com. I just put up the disasters page, and one of the pages does have an FAQ. You go there and then you're like, hey, I have a question, and I'll answer you if it's a good question. If it's some bullshit, I won't answer you. I don't have time for that shit.
Oh yeah, you should talk about distribution.
Distribution. Oh yeah, distribution. We'll do it ourselves. So, we could work with a big publisher like Amazon, but then we would have to work with Amazon, and fuck Amazon, right? Like, I mean, anyway, not so much the point. I have a distribution plan which we'll do from our home. Mickey will be handling the distribution. She will be sending them all out personally, which means you're in straight contact with us. And the great thing about it is it's actually cheaper than working with Amazon.
You can also directly ask me questions
Yes.
over email, like, where is my game? And
Exactly.
I will tell you.
You will not have to deal with customer support from Amazon. You will have to deal with us. Question is that better? Maybe.
Truthfully, we don't know.
We don't know, but we'll try to be better, right? Like, and the thing is that, you know, like, this is just gonna be something that we do, like, as a family here, and it's like a family business, and I think that's nice, right? So, yeah, but it will give Mickey something to do, and she can run the distribution and all of that. We've got a storage unit up there that, you know, will work for this. I already looked into that. Everything's figured out. Everything is on the Kickstarter. Look at the Kickstarter.
Literally everything has figured out.
Everything is figured out, right? But again, the big important note here is because we do distribution ourselves, it's actually going to be cheaper than going with Amazon. Which I think is pretty good feat, undercutting Amazon on that shit.
We also don't need to give Jeff Bezos any more money. He
Yes.
has quite enough.
He has quite enough money. Anyway, so that's pretty much that. Please give it a shot. Put a lot of work into it. It's a lot of fun. And keep in mind, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Berlin time on my stream, I'll be showing off the game. Here's the thing, I'm really confident in this product. This is not just some bullshit. Alright? Like, I believe I made a good game, and I believe in it so much that I'm willing to expose the entire thing to you and show all of it in action. Because I think it's fun, and I think you will like it.
He's even going to teach Timo.
Right. No, Timo isn't going to be around. I'm actually going to be teaching Jim.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Jim from Jim Ben Dodo. Although I don't know if he still likes being called. Jim Ben. You guys know Jim Ben. Right? Timo's not going to be around. He couldn't make it. But we're going to have Jim around. He has never played the game before, and I will explain it to him right then and there to prove how easy it is to learn. Anyway, so I hope to see you there, and have a good evening. Now we're going to end the video with the obligatory cocker shot.
Of course.
Well, that's a good cocker. Yeah.
You should just put this footage and then just like flash and like buy. Like, look at the Kickstarter, look at the Kickstarter.